Another office which we'll see today is Zaha Hadid Architects from London. It's an office with international practice and certainly one of the most important offices today, with ever expanding practice with more and more projects around the world, and also with very creative geometries and new technologies that are used for designing projects. The office is led by Zaha Hadid and Patrick Schumacher. Zaha Hadid was one of the founding director of OMA, Office for Metropolitan Architecture, together with Rem Koolhaas and Lelia Zengelis. Afterwards, she split from the office and founded her own architectural studio. In the first years of her office, she produced only drawings or only paper architecture. Her projects were that difficult that no one could ever imagine building them. They were too complex and eventually too expensive to build. Her talent came to prominence when she won the competition for a hotel in Hong Kong in 1984. That was the first time when she came to the international scene, and the first project which she was able, large-scale project which she was able to build. Afterwards, her innovative design brought her to be selected to a number of prestigious competitions. And for example, one of the first and very successful projects is the fire station in Viola, where, as we saw in other cases, there is an architectural collection of the Vitra company, which owns the patents for modern and contemporary furniture. That fire station was built out of concrete and steel. It was very spectacular, but it was never used as such, as fire station. It's now a place that people visit, but it could never function as a fire station because of its complex geometry and because of the dizziness that the firemen would get when they were in the building. The office eventually came to design a number of international, very prestigious commissions. Currently, or recently, they were involved into designing the pools for the Olympics in London. They're designing the Olympic Stadium in Tokyo for the next Olympic Games. And they also have a number of large-scale both cultural and private commissions around the world. Patrick Schumacher, who is also director of the office, is also not just an architect, but he's also a philosopher, a theorist, and a mathematician. He is the one who pushed the office into this direction of parametric design, and his thesis is in the direction of parametric design. He is the one that propagates parametrics as a new style, and he thinks it's the future of architecture. Whether that's true or not, we'll see in the next years. The project that I would like to show you from the office of Zaha Hadid is the MAXXI Museum of Contemporary Art in Rome. It was built in the year 2008, and today it's one of the most visited places in Rome. It is very unique because of its complexity, because of its innovative structural system, and because of the spectacular space that it creates. The project was designed after an international competition. It consists of multiple galleries which are almost as different elevated roads that curve and take different levels. So essentially it's an intersection of different planes that move up or down and intersect each other. There are galleries that cantilever above others. There are galleries that intersect with others. And the point of intersection is where we find the lobby with this Piranesian staircase in the interior. If we look at Piranesi's cartouche from Rome, we have these suspended bridges, we have these staircases that lead to nowhere, and this very spectacular space in the interior, which is hard to imagine, but and probably unreal, but and purely utopian. But the effect of it is quite spectacular. Something similar happens with the lobby of the MAXXI Museum. We have this huge space with staircases that go from one floor to another, and we feel completely lost inside because we don't know where the staircase take us. It is as unfunctional as the carcery of Piranesi, and we can often be trapped inside of these staircases because they don't follow a clear sequence between the galleries, but they're almost as a labyrinth that lead from one level to another. As a museum, the building is not as successful as other museums because the galleries often don't connect to each other. Sometimes we have to go to an end of a gallery and then come all the way back and then exit and then go to the staircase and then exit another gallery on the upper level, which in terms of a museum, it's rather an unpractical space because a museum supposes a circulation. The museum supposes a promenade between one gallery and another. Regardless of the unfunctional distribution of the museum, the spaces inside have a unique character. They're lit from above. There are skylights above every gallery that bring natural light to the interior and avoid the need for artificial lights during most of the day. The project is built with concrete, mainly with concrete structure. It has concrete walls, which are the load-bearing walls that also allow for it to have the cantilevering of the galleries above the ground floor or above the exterior spaces. These large concrete walls are connected with metal trusses in the roof, and those metal trusses are the ones that hold the skylights or hold these horizontal brise-soleil on the roof, which can rotate and can filter the sunlight that goes in the interior. The sunlight is the one that is controlled, and because of the sunlight, we almost don't need any artificial light in the interior. The museum is built in a former industrial area of Rome and close to, for example, the City of Music by Renzo Piano and close to a whole cultural district in the area with museums and other cultural institutions. It is next to a former factory, and in fact the museum is a combination or is an addition to this existing rehabilitated factory. This creates a rather unique dialogue between the historical building, this industrial shed, and then the new museum, or a building from the late 19th century and the building from the early 21st century. The combination between the two is quite moving. The new museum has its own lobby and ticket office. The two seem to coexist together quite well. The new museum embraces almost the old one, so it attaches the new structure to the old one, showing a certain continuation between different phases of the development of Rome as a city and different phases of the development of architecture as such. The old museum also has load-bearing walls, in that case made out of bricks, and then a metal structure for the roof, similar to the new one, with concrete load-bearing side walls and then metal structure for the roof right above it. The MAXXI Museum, it's the perfect combination between a very powerful cultural institution which generates public events for the city of Rome as theater, dance, cinema, exhibitions, cultural debates, meetings, and in the summer it even has the temporary space in the exterior, which every year is designed by young architects after a competition who built a space that could be enjoyed by people as an outdoor playground for little kids or just a space for anyone to go and to experience. It also creates spaces for citizens of Rome to come and enjoy on one side, and on the other side, the innovative and very creative work of the officers Zaha Hadid. This unique combination provides a new space for the city of Rome, a space where families, young and old, can go and can always find something interesting to do, either during the week or on the weekend. It has revitalized the neighborhood of Rome and has given it a new life and a very strong cultural impulse that is certainly going to bring new development in the years to come for the city of Rome.